Welcome to ywcc for November 2023. I do not own the rights to this music. That is Young Women's Christian Council. The topic is Believers Must Be Content. The definition of content: in a state of peaceful happiness, willing to accept a particular thing, satisfied. The definition of covetous: inordinate desire for wealth and possessions, or for another's possessions, having a craving for possession. Inordinate: exceeding reasonable limits, disorderly, unregulated. Every day we are bombarded with ads to spend more money. Whether we have the funds or not, purchasing is placed within our reach through credit cards, personal loans, and manufacturing incentives. Although we may possess goods, greater goods are being made constantly, promising to make us better, smarter, and healthier. The only way to improve ourselves and our station in life is through relationship with God. He is our contentment. Luke chapter 12 opens with Jesus before a crowd who could not be numbered. This large number began to gather in Luke chapter 11. After Jesus taught the disciples to pray, he cast out a demon and was ridiculed by the scribes and Pharisees. He rebuffed their attempt to trap him by exposing their greed and haughtiness, disguised by a mask of religion. Although Jesus was still speaking before the crowd, as our lesson opens, he was focused on the disciples. Jesus warned them to be careful and guard themselves against the hypocrisy of the Pharisees, lest they find themselves as one of them. Jesus specifically addressed any fears the disciples may have had. Jesus warned the disciples to fear and concern themselves with him who could kill body and cast the soul into hell. They were to lay claim to their relationship with Christ and the Father. The request of the young man illustrates the distraction of greed and discontentment. His mind and intent were squarely on receiving his inheritance, though Jesus did not waste this opportunity to teach kingdom principles. He educated the young man on why he had come. Jesus was not there to settle estate disputes, but to prepare man for eternal residence. He cautions them all to flee covetousness and greed. He points out that a man's worth is not in the amount of material things he can accumulate. The parable of the rich man paints a picture of one who has acquired many things, but does not acknowledge God as the provider. He has placed his assurances in himself and his land. He begins to make a plan for how his soul will ride out his success. But God is not mentioned. He is not part of that man's plan. God calls him a fool. Luke chapter 12 verse 21 reminds the children of God that we must be rich in God and we are not to worry about our possessions or needs. Jesus told the disciples to trust the love of God to provide for their every need. God does not want us to live in lack and therefore has given his children the open door, which is prayer. He told us to ask, and it would be given, to seek, and we shall find, and to knock, and it shall be opened unto us. And that's Luke chapter 11, verses 9 and 10. When we go to God with our needs, we can be assured that he will not give us scorpions, but good gifts unto his children. There are many things available to us daily, but they must never replace our relationship with the Creator. Unlike the man with great abundance, we must give thanks to God for his provision and assurance. It's in our relationship that we must prosper first. And that's 3 John chapter 1 verse 2. Beloved, I wish above all things that you may prosper and be in good health as your soul prospers. When we are content, we do not lust after material things, but we earnestly yearn for the hope of glory. But seek ye first the kingdom of God and his righteousness, and all these things shall be added unto you. And that's Matthew chapter 6, verse 33. The end. God bless you and thank you for joining me today.